Montana Territory, 1884. The wind rushed down from the Pryor Range, biting with grit and the promise of snow, and Eleanor Frost stood outside the mercantile in Red Willow, clutching her shawl close with one hand and an empty basket with the other. "No more credit," the shopkeeper snapped behind her, already turning away. "Not again." She didn't argue. Just dipped her head and stepped off the wooden stoop, chin lifted even as her stomach ached from having little to eat since yesterday. Her son had managed barely half a hard biscuit that morning. Her skirt brushed the packed earth as she walked, blinking fast against the burn in her eyes. She would not cry. Not here. Not where folks could see. Across the street, a man leaned against a hitching post outside the livery. Arms folded. Hat pulled low. His coat was faded but neat, boots worn thin from miles of trail. There was a steadiness to him, the kind that felt unmovable. He didn't pretend not to watch her. "You get turned away for supplies?" he asked, voice calm and low. Eleanor stiffened, then nodded once, glancing toward her wagon. "I'll manage." He pushed off the post and stepped closer. "Come with me," he said, as easy as offering a hand. She hesitated, fingers tightening around the basket. "You don't even know me." "I don't need to," he replied. "You've got a child to feed. That's reason enough." Her eyes dropped to the dust between their boots. "I can't take charity." "It isn't charity," he said. "It's supper. Come on." She looked up then, really looked. His eyes were kind. There was a faint line at the corner of his mouth, like he'd once smiled often and forgotten how. He wasn't young, but not old either. Early 30s, maybe. Something grounded about him made her breathe easier just standing there. She nodded. He nodded back and turned, leading her toward a waiting horse hitch to a battered farm wagon. "Name's Jonah Hale," he said, lifting the reins. "You can ride up front if you like." "Eleanor Frost," she replied, climbing up. "My boy's at home. Just past the creek." Jonah flicked the reins lightly. "Then that's where we're headed." The ride passed in an easy quiet, not heavy, not awkward. The wheels groaned over ruts as the sun dipped low, brushing the hills in amber light. Eleanor watched Jonah's hands on the reins, strong, weathered, sure. She hadn't been near a man like that in a long while. They followed the creek until her small homestead came into view. The cabin sagged with age, its roof patched with tar paper and hope. A thin boy stood barefoot on the porch, watching them approach. "That him?" Jonah asked. "Yes. His name's Caleb. He's 7. Jonah nodded once. "Stands sharp." The wagon stopped. Eleanor barely had time to climb down before Caleb ran to her. She lifted him into her arms. "We've got company," she whispered. "He's helping us tonight." Caleb looked up at Jonah with wide eyes. "You got food?" Jonah smiled. "More than that." "You like rabbit stew?" Caleb grinned. "I do." Jonah unloaded his supplies: beans, potatoes, flour, salt pork, and a wrapped cut of venison. Eleanor's breath caught. She tried to speak, but Jonah only said, "Let's cook." The kitchen was small, but warm once the fire took. Jonah worked with easy skill, chopping vegetables while Eleanor mixed dough for biscuits. Caleb watched from the table, eyes shining at the smell of roasting meat. "You cook like a ranch wife," Eleanor said quietly. "Raised on one," Jonah replied. "Mar passed when I was 16. Learned fast." She nodded. "Your father?" "Gone early," he said, not looking up. "No family now." "Same here," she said softly. They didn't speak of her husband. It wasn't needed. Dinner filled the cabin with warmth and laughter Caleb hadn't made in weeks. Afterward, Jonah stepped outside while Eleanor tucked her son into bed. She found him on the porch, staring up at the stars. "Thank you," she said. He looked over. "Anytime. You didn't have to." I wanted to. You're kind. He shrugged. Don't know about that. You are, she said gently. It's been a long time since someone showed us any. He studied her in the moonlight. It doesn't have to be the last. Her heart sped, not with fear, but something forgotten. Will you come back tomorrow? I will. She smiled, full and real.